Have you ever felt a sudden, unexplainable urge to reach out to someone? Or maybe you've caught yourself thinking about a person out of the blue, only to find their name popping up everywhere you look? What if I told you these aren't just random coincidences? They could be signs that someone is thinking about you. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of emotional and spiritual connections. Guided by the insights of Dolores Cannon, a pioneer in spiritual phenomena, we'll uncover the subtle signs that someone's thoughts are reaching out to you across time and space. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just realize that someone out there is thinking about you right now. Our thoughts are more powerful than we realize. They're not just confined to our minds, they can travel, connect, and even influence others. So how do you know when someone is thinking about you? Let's explore the 7 most intriguing signs that someone's thoughts are reaching out to you and what they mean. The first sign is one you've probably experienced before: an unexplainable urge to communicate. Out of nowhere, you feel this overwhelming need to text, call, or message someone. It's not because you saw their photo or heard their name. It's a sudden, almost magnetic pull to reach out. Here's the fascinating part. This urge often comes without any logical reason. You could be going about your day, minding your own business, and bam, you're hit with this intense desire to connect. Dolores Cannon, a visionary in spiritual studies, explains that this is more than just a random thought. It's a sign of energetic ties and telepathic connections. When someone thinks about you intensely, their thoughts create an invisible thread, pulling you toward them. Think about it. Have you ever texted an old friend or ex out of the blue, only to find out they were just thinking about you too? That's no coincidence. It's the universe's way of saying, hey, you're on their mind. Let me share a story. A woman named Sarah hadn't spoken to her childhood best friend Emily in over a decade. One day, out of nowhere, Sarah felt this overwhelming urge to message her. She hesitated at first, thinking it was random, but the feeling was so strong that she finally sent a simple, "Hey, how are you?" To her surprise, Emily replied immediately saying, "I was just thinking about you." Moments like these make you wonder, how often do we ignore these subtle nudges from the universe? Have you ever experienced this? Drop a comment below if you've suddenly felt the urge to reach out to someone. Let's see how many of you have felt this mysterious pull. Next up is a sign that's hard to ignore: hearing or seeing their name everywhere. It's like the universe is playing a game of "Where's Waldo?" with their name. You hear it in conversations, see it in books, or even spot it on random signs. It's so frequent that it can't just be a coincidence. Dolores Cannon calls this phenomenon synchronicity. It's not just random chance, it's a meaningful alignment of events. When someone is thinking about you intensely, their energy creates ripples in the universe, making their name appear in your life repeatedly. Imagine this. You're thinking about someone, and suddenly their name pops up in a movie you're watching or a song you're listening to. It's like the universe is sending you a little nudge saying, hey, they're thinking about you. Here's an example. A man named James kept seeing the name Lily everywhere, on billboards, in books, even in random conversations. He hadn't spoken to his ex-girlfriend Lily in years, but the name kept appearing. One day he decided to reach out, and to his surprise, Lily admitted she'd been thinking about him a lot lately. Coincidence or something deeper? Has this ever happened to you? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories about seeing or hearing someone's name everywhere. Now this one is truly fascinating. Smelling their scent out of nowhere. You're going about your day and suddenly you catch a whiff of their perfume or cologne. But here's the twist. They're not even in the same room, city, or sometimes even the same country. Dolores Cannon explains that our sense of smell is deeply connected to our emotional and spiritual states. When someone is thinking about you, their energy can manifest as a familiar scent. It's like their thoughts are sending you a little hello through your nose. Think about it. Have you ever smelled your ex's cologne or your best friend's favorite perfume, only to realize they're miles away? That's not your imagination playing tricks on you. It's a sign that they're thinking about you. Let me share a story. A woman named Maria was at work one day when she suddenly smelled her late grandmother's signature rose perfume. She hadn't smelled it in years, and no one around her was wearing it. Later that day, she found an old photo of her grandmother and felt an overwhelming sense of peace. It was as if her grandmother was letting her know she was still watching over her. Have you ever smelled someone's scent out of the blue? Share your experiences in the comments. I'm curious to hear your stories. Sign number 4 is all about unexpected encounters. You're walking down the street, minding your own business, and suddenly, you bump into someone you haven't seen in years. It's like the universe conspired to bring you together. Dolores Cannon calls these encounters synchronistic events. They're not just random, they're orchestrated by the energy of someone's thoughts. When someone is thinking about you intensely, their energy can influence the fabric of reality, leading to these surprise meetings. Imagine this. You're thinking about an old friend, and the next thing you know, you run into them at the grocery store. That's not just luck. It's a sign that they've been thinking about you too. Here's an example. A man named Alex was reminiscing about his college roommate Sam, whom he hadn't seen in over a decade. The next day, while walking through a park, he literally bumped into Sam. They ended up catching up for hours, and Sam admitted he'd been thinking about Alex a lot recently. Moments like these make you wonder, how often does the universe step in to reconnect us? Have you ever had an unexpected encounter with someone? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Here's a sign that might surprise you. Obsessive thoughts about someone. You find yourself constantly thinking about them, even when you don't want to. It's like their face is glued to your mind. According to Dolores Cannon, these thoughts aren't always your own. When someone is thinking about you intensely, their energy can project into your mind, making you think about them obsessively. It's like their thoughts are invading your mental space. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself unable to stop thinking about someone, even when you're busy with other things? That could be a sign that they're thinking about you too. Let me share a story. A woman named Rachel kept dreaming about her high school crush, Mark, whom she hadn't seen in years. She couldn't understand why he kept popping into her thoughts. A week later, she received a friend request from Mark on social media. He admitted he'd been thinking about her a lot lately and wanted to reconnect. Moments like these make you wonder, how often do we ignore these subtle signs? Have you ever experienced obsessive thoughts about someone? Share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Sign number 6 takes us into the world of dreams. If you're having recurring dreams about someone, it could be a sign that they're thinking about you. Dreams are more than just random images. They're a window into our subconscious. Dolores Cannon explains that when someone is thinking about you intensely, their energy can enter your dreams. It's like their thoughts are sending you a message while you sleep. Imagine this. You're dreaming about an old friend, and the next day, they reach out to you. That's not just a coincidence. It's a sign that they've been thinking about you. Here's an example. A man named David kept dreaming about his childhood friend, Lisa. In the dreams, they were laughing and having fun, just like old times. A few days later, Lisa sent him a message out of the blue, saying she'd been thinking about him a lot. Moments like these make you wonder, how often do our dreams carry messages from others? Have you ever dreamed about someone and then heard from them? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. The final sign is a sudden change in your energy. You might feel an unexpected surge of happiness or, conversely, a sudden drop in energy. These shifts can be a response to someone's thoughts about you. Dolores Cannon explains that we're all energetically connected. When someone is thinking about you with strong emotions, their energy can affect yours, creating these sudden shifts. Think about it. Have you ever felt a sudden wave of happiness or sadness for no reason? That could be a sign that someone is thinking about you. Let me share a story. A woman named Emma was at work when she suddenly felt an overwhelming sense of joy. She couldn't explain it, but it felt like someone was sending her positive energy. Later that day, she received a message from her best friend, who admitted she'd been thinking about Emma and sending her love. Moments like these make you wonder, how often do we feel the energy of others without realizing it? Have you ever experienced a sudden change in energy? Share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. So, what do you think? Have you experienced any of these signs? Whether it's an unexplainable urge to communicate, a sudden change in energy, or even a dream about someone, these signs are more than just coincidences. They're reminders of the invisible bonds we share with others. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's your blood type, And how do you feel about your cosmic role? Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and remember the universe is within you.